Hello, AIESEC. This is Gordon, your Global Vice President for Digital Marketing 1415 on AIESEC International. I've been asked by a few of you that you wanted to learn more about my story and what my message is for AIESEC and also what's the importance of this in your life. So I'm going to spend roughly a few minutes to just share my story, tell you a little bit of my thoughts and my perspectives, and also why this is such an incredible opportunity for you guys as 20-something-year-olds or even in your late teenage years to be a part of something that is actually making a difference in this world, but also making a difference in your own life. So I'll first start off with my own story. So I joined in 2011 of January back in Vancouver, Canada, where I was a freshman, I was a first-year university student, I was, walking across campus, and my friends had been talking about AIESEC for the last 4 or 5 months at this point. And I just kept hearing about this organization that, you get some sort of travel opportunities, some mentions of leadership development, but I didn't really understand what it was. And until I actually really learned more about AIESEC, I, took quite some time to really figure it out. But when I did figure it out, it was an amazing opportunity to meet people, get a group of like-minded people on your campus, friends, have the chance to actually talk about something beyond just stupid gossip and not important topics, but something like, how can I make myself better? How can I develop myself into the person I want to be in the future? How do I, increase my leadership capabilities so I can actually make that difference in the world? How can I, learn more from people who've already been there and done it? All these types of opportunities, whether it's networking, personal or professional development, or maybe you want to see the world and broaden horizons, AIESEC is the perfect place for you guys to do that. And in the context of 2015, this is one of the most important years, not just for AIESEC, but also for the world. This is the year that, the Millennium Development Goals from the United Nations are being completed, and it's the launch of the new Sustainable Development Goals, and that will define the next 15 years of global development agenda, meaning by the end of 2030, our world should be in a much better state than it is today from these global efforts and global goals that the United Nations have set with world leaders and governments. And also the missing piece is young people. What is the role you are going to play when, these issues are arising right now, whether it's climate change, poverty, inequality, whatever these issues are, they need leaders to actually, be a part of this change. Without leaders, you can announce as many global goals as you want, but none of them can actually happen and be addressed without leaders. Young leaders like you guys who may not have figured it out yet, but you're on your way to doing so. And that's the most important part. The fact that you're actually doing something is the thing why young people are the reason why we need them today. So when I look about, why AIESEC, why you guys, and why this whole kind of 2015 thing, 2015 is just more than just numbers. Yes, there are goals up there, but the more important part is the ambition, the kind of striving for excellence towards something so much bigger than ourselves. And we as individuals all play a piece in this bigger puzzle piece of figuring out how do we make AIESEC relevant, how do we grow AIESEC so we can develop more young leaders in the world, and more importantly, how are we as a global youth voice going to move this world forward and make sure that major decisions in the world are not excluding the youth opinion. So what do I mean by youth opinion? It means, what do you think about education? What are your thoughts on, are you happy with it, your education? Are you learning the skills you actually need? Are you actually prepared to meet your future and actually develop the career of your choice? All these types of questions are things you should be asking yourself and actually finding solutions to them. But we as AIESEC want to do this globally, and it's through the YouthSpeak initiative. And it's us trying to collect the youth opinions of you guys on what are your challenges? What are your hopes and dreams? And how can we as a global youth voice take these opinions to decision makers like the United Nations, like global employers and brands, like governments to understand your opinions? And from there we can plan together, strategize together, and make that difference with the youth opinion in this discussion. So that is why 2015 is so important. It's about this development of young leaders across the world and ensuring that AIESEC is actually able to develop so many young leaders in the world, develop that leadership potential, and make sure that young people growing up today have that leadership capability to make that positive difference in the world. And I think this is so important because if you look around the world today, so many issues are arising with young people who don't have the opportunity, who don't have the values and the morals to really ground them, and also the capabilities and skills and leadership to actually move this world forward. So when you mix leadership development with the values, you put these two together, you get a very powerful force of a young person who not only can make that difference in the world, but also has the responsibility and the values that ground them. And secondly, is this concept of the global youth voice. It means that you guys need to speak up, take action, and actually participate in these campaigns, because it's not just about a survey. The survey is just a tool. The most important part is the opinions that actually get to decision makers that can make that difference. So this is really important to me because I flash back to when I first started AIESEC as a lost university student, no clue what he wanted to do in life, and now fast forward 4.5 years as one of the leaders inside AIESEC International. I can say that AIESEC has made this difference in my life, and me actually being able to say these things so easily and fluently is because I've had that leadership development through AIESEC. I've been exposed to so many different cultures and experiences. I've been able to see the world and actually make that change. And that change starts from you, me inside, not anywhere else. It starts from you, and then it goes to the world. So remember that at the end of the day, it's not about, what other people can do for you, but what can you do for the world. So I encourage all of you to really open your minds and accept different types of opinions, listen to the diversity of perspectives, and more importantly, make sure you don't forget your own and actually to put that out in the world, because if you keep it a secret inside you, no one will ever know about it, and that treasure will never be shown to the world. So for me, my last message to you guys is, if you're new in AIESEC, don't be afraid to take challenges. You might win or lose a couple other times or fail. I've lost many times in AIESEC where I didn't get elected, whatever you may name it. But at the end of the day, I'm learning, and that's the most important part. The key thing is to see every opportunity, every challenge, every success, every person you meet in your life, to view it as a teacher that will help you move yourself forward and become a better person. If you see everything as a life lesson, you'll never see anything as a failure, but more as a challenge that you've overcome. So remember this, it's super important, and I hope you guys stay inspired and make sure you take every opportunity you can inside AIESEC, and more importantly, when you leave AIESEC again, to keep these values with you, because they are the things that the world needs today. So take part in the global youth movement, take part in YouthSpeak, be a part of this change through AIESEC, and let your voice be heard, make this change. You need to be that leader. So make that difference, and let's make this happen in 2015. Not tomorrow, but today. Bye-bye.